Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about NGSP, that is National Glycohemoglobin Standardization Program. As far as my knowledge, this topic I could not find in any book in detail or in any YouTube video, and it was one of the question in recent DNB June 2021 examination. So this was the question: what does it mean by NGSP certified method? So I thought I should make a detailed video on this. It will be important mostly for MD biochemistry students and for students who want to appear for DNB examination. So first, what it means by NGSP? NGSP, it means National Glycohemoglobin Standardization Program. So before going to this particular program proper, we have to look back before the start of this program and why this program was started. So first we have to know about DCCT. What is DCCT? It is Diabetes Control and Complication Trial. So this program or this trial or this research or study, it was funded by NIDDK, that is National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. The aim of this study was it was done in the patients with type 1 diabetes mellitus, and the aim was to see if the patients with type 1 diabetes mellitus who kept their blood glucose level close to the normal with intensive treatment with either hypoglycemic drugs or with insulin have much better control on progression to the microvascular disease than the patients who do not undergo intensive therapy and they undergo conventional treatment. The duration of the study was 1984 to 1993. The outcome of the study was the risk of development and progression of chronic complications of type 1 diabetes mellitus is closely related to the degree of glycemic control, and the degree of glycemic control was assessed by glycated hemoglobin, and that is the HbA1c level. Before this study, there was no other study which could tell that HbA1c, that the glycemic control, to maintain the glycemic control is first step to prevent the progression of chronic complications. So after that, a follow-up study called Epidemiology of Diabetes Intervention and Complications, shortly known as EDIC, was conducted. So if anyone wants detail of this of the DCCT study, please let me know in the comment section. I will make a separate detailed video on this, but for this particular video I have included only these points which are relevant to our topic, that is NGSP. Now based on the DCCT study, very important point comes out. The ADA, that is American Diabetic Association, it recommended that the primary goal of treatment in diabetes should be the blood glucose control, and it also stated specific HbA1c target to be maintained based on this particular study. So this study was very important for the treatment and intervention part in diabetes care. Another study was conducted, another study was conducted known as UKPDS or United Kingdom Prospective Diabetes Study. This study was done in the patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus as compared to the DCCT study which was conducted in type 1 diabetes mellitus patients. This study was completed in 1998 and the results were same as that of or similar to that seen in DCCT study. Now what was the pitfall of both the study? These studies were conducted during the time when HbA1c methods were not standardized. The result of both the study indicated that tight glycemic control is important to prevent the development of chronic complications of diabetes, that is the microvascular diseases, and they assessed the glycemic control by glycated hemoglobin, or HbA1c was the main target which they calculated. But at that time the methods of HbA1c estimation was not standardized, making it difficult for the physicians to relate the test results to DCCT based target or treatment goals. Okay, so means due to the absence of any standardized methods, the different results which was obtained all over the world for HbA1c was not related or not comparable to that of the DCCT study. Hence, AACC, that is American Association of Clinical Chemistry, AACC Standard Committee, they established a HbA1c standardization subcommittee in 1993 after the DCCT study. So this subcommittee, what it does, it recommended that the DCCT assay method to be used as an interim reference method. So this study concluded that the DCCT's assay method should be the reference method, while studies were being performed to evaluate candidate reference method and to develop purified HbA1c standard. This standardization would allow individual clinical laboratories to provide the test results that could be related or compared to that of the DCCT results. So this AACC subcommittee, it developed a standardization protocol. It develops a protocol, after which it was dissolved and NGSP was created to implement the protocol. So all these studies were done previous to NGSP to for the development or for the standardization of HbA1c method. So this NGSP, this subcommittee, AACC subcommittee, it developed a protocol, standardization protocol, after which the subcommittee was dissolved and NGSP was created. Now coming to what is NGSP. The structure of NGSP. It consists of a steering committee and a laboratory network. What is the steering committee? The function of this committee is to review the policy or protocol changes and certification data submitted by the the laboratory network. So what is the laboratory network? It consists of the administrative core, that is also known as NET core, CPRL, Central Primary Reference Laboratory, PRL are the primary reference laboratory and SRL are the secondary reference laboratory. Function of CPRL, Central Primary Reference Laboratory, to set the initial calibration for the standardization program based on the set point used in DCCT. Function of PRL, it acts as it functions as a backup laboratory to the CPRL or Central Primary Reference Laboratory. Secondary Reference Laboratory, it works directly with the manufacturers to assist them in standardizing their methods and providing comparison data for certification of traceability or for certification. So these are the functions. If I have not mentioned everything in detail of the NGSP, the main points I have elaborated here. If these things are needed to anyone, please let me know in the comment section below. Now coming to the question which was asked, that is, what is the NGSP certification or NGSP certified method? So first is NGSP certification criteria. A certificate of traceability is issued by the NGSP NET core or the administrative core to the different laboratories and various manufacturers who pass the test or who pass the calibration or certification program which is done by the NGSP. So the validity of the certificate is 1 year. So there are 3 types of certification provided by the NGSP. First one is network laboratory certification. So the PRL, that is primary reference laboratory, and SRL, that is secondary reference laboratory, must fulfill the following criteria. That is, the CV or coefficient of variance should be less than 3%. 95% confidence interval for predicted bias should overlap the plus minus 3% range of CPRL at the 2 HbA1c concentration, that is 6% and 9%. So these criteria to be fulfilled to get the network laboratory certification. The PRL and SRL should fulfill these 2 criteria to be able to get the network laboratory certification. Next is manufacturer and level 2 laboratory certification. Total CV less than 5%. 95% confidence interval of the difference between methods must fall within the clinically significant limit of plus minus 1% of glycated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c. Level 1 laboratory certification. This type of certification include both yearly certification and quarterly monitoring. It is recommended for large laboratories that are involved in research and clinical trials. So this research laboratories and the laboratories or setups where clinical trials are being done, they are recommended to get a level 1 laboratory certification. Precision and bias criteria are more stringent here. The CV should be less than 3% and 95% confidence interval must fall within 0.75% of glycated hemoglobin as mentioned by the DCCT. Now, what is the before going to this, we will discuss this. What is the certification procedure? Exchange of 40 patient samples is done between the NGSP and the laboratory or the center which wants the NGSP certification. A certificate of traceability to the DCCT reference method is issued to the participant that successfully complete the certification process. And the certificate is specific to the reagent and the instrument used during the certification, to the reagent, instrumentation and also for the method which are used in the certification process. Now, the 40 samples which are being given, they are compared with that of data are compared with that of SRL, that is secondary reference laboratory. For that, the participant laboratory has to contact to the NGSP network coordinator. The website or the contact email has been provided in the NGSP site itself. Then SRL is chosen for that particular laboratory or the participant. Then the participant or the participant laboratory has to complete all the analysis following the enclosed instruction and send the data by email to the network coordinator of the NGSP. Now, what is the progress in standardization? During the first year, that is from 1996 when the NGSP was first established to 1997, 14 methods from the 5 manufacturers were certified. Between December 1996 to 2000, 45 methods and 14 laboratories were certified. Since 1997, the ADA has recommended that laboratories should use only glycated hemoglobin assay method, that is HbA1c assay methods that have passed the certification testing. So it is very important point recommended by the ADA based on the DCCT trial which has changed the course of the therapy of treatment for the diabetes patients, both type 1 and type 2 diabetes patients. The complete list, a PDF has been given in the NGSP site regarding the various methods from the different manufacturers which have passed the certification process, and only those methods have been recommended by ADA to be used or to use for the HbA1c estimation in any patient sample. Details of that can be found in the NGSP website. Okay, thank you so much. If any doubt is there regarding this particular topic, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you.